Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into it with a fantastic piece of writing, The Ballad of a Foreign Speaker. It just completely challenges who gets to, own the English language.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to really immerse ourselves in this poem. We want to pull out that central conflict, that tension non-native English speakers feel, this pressure to fit some standard versus, well, just saying, my voice is fine, it's valid.
Exactly. And we're trying to figure out the tools the speaker uses to defend their identity against that kind of linguistic authority.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, this is such a crucial deep dive because it's not just about grammar, is it? It's like a geopolitical tension made personal.
Right.
You've got what institutions call the standard on one side,
Mm-hmm.
and then the inherent, rooted power of an individual's own voice on the other. We need to see how this speaker defines their linguistic identity when the rules were basically written somewhere else.
Okay, let's dive into segment one then, the declaration of power.
Sounds good.
The poem, it really doesn't ease you in, does it? Stanza one just sets the stage immediately, defines the speaker by what they're not.
Yeah, that line, I came with the tongue not shaped the same. So direct.
So physical, and then boom, the contrast. As the lords of Oxford's Hall.
And we should probably pause on Oxford's Hall for a second.
Good point.
Because it's more than just a university, right? It's like global shorthand for the standard, the proper English, often tied up with colonial history, academic gatekeeping.
The authority figure, the judge.
Exactly. Judging that bending accent the poem talks about.
But what's amazing is the speaker doesn't just dwell on that difference like it's a problem. They pivot straight away
Instantly.
to this declaration of immense power, claiming, my words still carry a living flame.
And my voice can answer all.
Yeah. That's not being defensive, is it? It feels like
Yeah.
like an immediate assertion of equality, spiritual, communicative equality.
And what's really fascinating is how that power claim tackles the accent head on. The thing everyone notices.
Of course.
The chorus. It's so savvy. The speaker admits, okay, though my accent bends, acknowledges the reality.
Right, runs the sound.
But then immediately shifts focus. It's not about the form, it's about the function. The meaning runs to you.
Okay, I get that, but practically speaking, when they say the accent bends, aren't they sort of admitting a compromise? Are they really defying the standard or just finding a way to operate within the limits set by those Oxford listeners?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
But I think the defiance is in the framing. They accept the acoustic difference, sure, but they reject the judgment that usually comes with it.
No.
They even call it a foreign song,
Right.
accepting the label someone else might put on it. But then in the same breath, yet strong and true, my voice is mine, it carries through.
So the bend isn't a flaw.
Exactly. It's just the shape of the sound wave, maybe.
Yeah.
But the message, the meaning, that living flame, it gets through just fine, unimpeded.
Right, right. Which leads us perfectly into the second stanza, doesn't it? Because if the chorus already dismissed the accent as a barrier, why spend all this time in stanza two tearing down the standard itself?
Good point.
They really go after the idea of pure English, describing it with these very sort of high, maybe rigid images. English, pure and fine, compared to jewels in the crown.
Yeah, the critique definitely shifts there. From personal events more towards, cultural politics.
Okay.
If you connect it to the bigger picture, the poem's attacking the whole value system that props up the standard. Jewels in the crown. They're static, they're cold, valuable, yes, but tied to royalty, maybe colonial wealth.
Lifeless, almost. Beautiful, but lifeless.
That's a good way to put it. That's the standard being presented.
Mhm.
Admired for its stiffness, its pedigree, a high barrier to entry.
So it feels like the poem saying, you value that stiffness, that polish. I value life, growth.
Exactly. And the way it mixes those ideas is so sharp. To fight that rigid metaphor, the speaker grounds their own speech in something organic, non-Western.
Not mined or cut like a diamond.
No, it's cultivated. My speech is grown from a sinhala vine.
Okay, we can't just gloss over Sinhala. Why that specific reference? Why is that cultural anchor so vital here?
This is where that whole idea about linguistic power really lands, I think. Sinhala, it's a major language in Sri Lanka.
Right, with its own history tied up with British rule.
Precisely. The imposition of English, making it the language of administration, aspiration. So when the speaker says their English grew from a Sinhala vine, they're saying their unique way of speaking, the accent, the phrasing, it's not just a bunch of mistakes.
It's hybrid growth. Fertile.
Yes. And then look how they reinforce that. The depth of those roots. Its roots run deep in brown.
Oh, that's powerful. That sensory language. It grounds the speech in earth and heritage, completely counters the superficial shimmer of those
It
jewels.
really draws a line, doesn't it, between two whole philosophies of what gives language value. One is being an ornament, exclusive, polished, decided by places like Oxford.
Historically determined.
Right. And the other is being a living thing, inclusive, hybrid, connected to history, to the earth. It's about substance, organic growth, not just surface polish or following some old rule book.
Which brings us to segment 3, identity, refusal, and connection. This feels like the climax of the argument.
It really does.
Because now we get to the speaker's conscious choice in the third stanza, not to chase the standard. They
Yeah.
put these rhetorical questions out there to us, to you listening. Why must I chase another's tone or wear another's face?
It's a flat-out refusal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Refusal to perform an identity that isn't theirs, suggesting that trying to sound pure is like wearing a mask.
Yeah, hiding something.
And this is so critical because the poem isn't just defying anymore. It's moving into an active, really positive definition of what the speaker's language does.
Yeah.
Their voice isn't just okay existing outside the standard. It's about what it achieves.
So the words aren't burdens.
No, they're tools. Sophisticated tools for creation, for synthesis, built for human connection.
And you really see that focus on construction, on building, and maybe the most powerful image. My words are bridges I have sown.
Oh, I love that line. Sewn.
Yeah, what does that imply?
Patience, right. Precision. Deliberate craft. It reframes that foreign song not as something messy, but as a careful construction project.
Built intentionally.
To connect people, cultures, not to put up a fence of formality that keeps people out. It's built for dialogue, for function, not for someone else's judgment.
So thinking about the listener then, what's the ultimate takeaway, this foreign voice? By staying authentic, rooted, it actually achieves the main goal of language maybe better than the rigid standard ever could.
I think that's exactly it. They declare their words hold the human place.
That's the mic drop right there.
Totally. It means the bending accent doesn't just, scrape by and manage to communicate. It actively affirms shared humanity. It makes space for difference.
So if language is fundamentally about connecting people,
Then any standard that values form over understanding, over that connection, has kind of failed, hasn't it? The speaker building bridges, even with that bend, they've won.
okay, let's wrap this up then. This deep dive into the Ballad of a Foreign Speaker, it really hammers home that linguistic strength isn't about conforming.
No.
It's found in authenticity, in those vital roots, in communication that actually connects people, not just sticking to a standard from Oxford's Hall or valuing those pure jewels.
And that central lesson is right there in the chorus, holding it all together. The
Yeah.
real measure of language. Its power to build bridges, to get the meaning through, runs to you, regardless of the song or the bend.
Substance over form.
Connection over formality, especially in our global world.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. If the speaker's words, just as they are, already carry that living flame and successfully hold the human place,
Yeah.
how does challenging this whole idea of English, pure and fine, change how you evaluate the communication you hear every day, in business, school, just chatting with a neighbor? If the real strength is authenticity and connection, not where it came from, well, that changes the whole game, doesn't it? Definitely something worth mulling over.